Nightmares are a super common experience. You wake up in a cold sweat, your heart's racing. You have to remind yourself it's just a dream. Sometimes those dreams are so bizarre, it has you wondering why you even had one in the first place. So today, sleep expert Amanda Jewson is here with answers on what triggers nightmares and then how to deal with them. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's two different types of things that can happen here. There's
Yep.
the nightmare and
Yep.
the night terror. What's the difference?
People often use these interchangeably, but they are different things. So a nightmare is a dream. So we wake up, we remember the dream, we can recall it. It happens in the REM stage of sleep. And that's really the differentiator. It's a dream and you remember it. Now, a night terror, you don't remember it. Someone tells you it happened. It actually happens when you're coming out of stage 3 or deep sleep. So you're in that really deep sleep. You're moving into the lighter stage. There might be something frightening that happens. And so it's often shown in children. So children that are overtired, overstimulated. It can happen in adults as well. Actually, there's a 2020 study that showed that this can be genetic. So if you experience night terrors as a child, there's a good chance your children will too. But they're very different things. A night terror, you cannot recall it. You have no recollection. Someone has to tell you it happened, basically.
Our kids get them when they're too hot.
Yes.
When they're
Oh,
sleeping.
too hot. Interesting.
Too hot. Let's go back to the nightmares. Why do we get these in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, the most common reason is stress. So I often refer, when people talk to me about nightmares, the Scientific American during the pandemic time had a whole issue called COVID dreams, because people were so stressed about the pandemic, they were going to bed and literally bringing their stress to bed. So if you work a high stress job, if you have a high stress life, you're probably going to have nightmares. Another common reason is experiencing a traumatic event. Often people with post-traumatic stress disorder, we have a lot of evidence to show a strong correlation between people experiencing that and nightmares. Or if you're sick, taking certain medications will prompt a nightmare. Fever dreams are a real thing. If you have a fever, people often report strange or funny dreams during that time as well.
What about in the midst of where we are right now, Halloween season, and we're watching scarier things on TV? There might be like a movie or a TV show. Does this have any effect on dreams?
Absolutely.
Really?
So, yeah, we have a lot of evidence to suggest that children who watch violent shows or scary things are more often having nightmares at bedtime. So we have a ton of evidence. Actually, in 2001, the American Academy of Pediatrics shared that if your children are watching these scary things, they're going to be more prone to nightmares.
See, I thought that was just something that like our parents told us to kind of scare us, but the fact that science proves it's true.
That's right.
Important to know. So
Yeah.
how do you fall back asleep after you've had a nightmare?
For sure. So for adults, if you wake up, generally you're in fight or flight. So you're in the moment. You want to take a few deep breaths. And the breaths and extra oxygen are going to tell your body you're safe. Grab an object next to you. Even if it's your phone, don't look at the phone. But if something in your hand, get really, mindful and intentional about, okay, this phone is in my hand. I'm feeling it here. You're just going to be really present. If that's not working, you're going to get up and you're gonna leave the room. If you're a kiddo, if you're a parent, your child has had a nightmare, you're gonna immediately go to them, comfort them, offer them a security item like a blanket or a stuffy. But night terrors, you may not be able to comfort them through. So you're gonna stay with them until they're calm and leave. So honestly, once they're out of it, they'll go back to sleep pretty quickly.
What if you're having consistent nightmares that don't seem to go away?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if you're doing all these things and nothing is working, it's time to talk to a doctor. Sleep terrors or night terrors can actually mask other sleep disorders, so we want to rule those out. Or speaking to a mental health professional. If you've experienced a traumatic event, it's time to talk about it and relieve that stress.
So that good night's sleep is just within reach.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. Okay, Amanda, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.